me.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Grandma's Basement, for having me.
Woo!
I ran into a buddy of mine the other day, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And he walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, dude, you look like a serial killer." Thing went off my head. I was like, that's the last thing you want to say to a guy who you think kills people for fun in his spare time, right? You want to be a little more smooth, I feel. Say something like, "Hey, dude, you look fantastic. I don't suspect anything. I'm clueless how many people you're killing." I get a lot of crappy dating advice from people. I think it's because I look young. Like one time some guy was like, "If you want to know what's in a woman's soul, stare into her eyes." It's like, first of all, who's trying to look into a woman's soul? Right? How many soul searches are on Pornhub.com? Not many. Not many. I found in real life, if you want to find out a lot about a woman, this is what you do, guys. You rifle through her purse while she's in the bathroom. You guys know what I'm talking about. Find out what kind of pills she's on. If I find Xanax and Klonopins in her purse, I'll hang out. You know what I mean? I'll see what's up. But anything for herpes or any lithium, and I gotta go. That's too crazy for my taste. I find the whole dating scene's getting more aggressive. I don't think you can argue with me that it's not getting more aggressive. I think it's easy to say romance dies for a woman the first time she gets a text message of some dude's balls. You know? I think that just lets her know it's like romance is done for you, hon. Strap in, it's gonna get weird. The other thing that gets me intimidated is chokeouts. You guys know about the chokeout, right? It's just, here's the thing. I'm not a chokeout guy. It's easy to tell. I'm not gonna fit in a chokeout scenario. It's not gonna work out. But the thing I'm worried about is the girl I'll be going out with will have like an ex-boyfriend who was a chokeout guy. So I'll be in a car, we're making out, and in my head I'm thinking, this is going great, but in her head she's like, what a pussy. You know what I mean? She's like, my old boyfriend would have robbed me and cheated on me by now, and this kid's making out? I just feel like it's just old-fashioned, is what I'm saying now. Has anyone here ever heard of a freak show? Right? You guys have heard of a freak show. I don't know, maybe some of you have been to them. Here's the thing about a freak show. They used to keep human fetuses in jars and display them as an oddity. And that's pretty far out nowadays, right? If somebody told you that. Because if you want to see a fetus in a jar nowadays, you got to go down to Planned Parenthood and break in. And it is quite a scene. They do not appreciate. They just don't appreciate it. That's just a bad joke. Planned Parenthood doesn't keep babies in jars. They use a plastic bag system. It's much more efficient. If you like them or hate them, you got to admit they are all about efficiency down there. There's something a little bit German about it. I don't know what it is. I got kind of a thing going on where I don't know how ventriloquism is considered an art form. And here's what I'm saying. Ventriloquism, it's really what it is. It's like dementia with a hand puppet. If you think about it. You got some like crazy guy who has something wrong with him, but he has like a hand puppet, but everyone accepts it. And here's just the layout of all ventriloquism acts. Things are going great, things are going fine. Then the dummy gets a little bit fresh and starts mouthing back to his master. Which is like the shtick or whatever. But what I think is really happening is that guy's self-dignity is manifesting himself and screaming at him, I don't respect what you're doing to either one of us. You know what I mean? It's like either be a comedian or a magician. Get your life together. I got one more thing to say. I was listening to the radio recently and an old school rap song that came on, and it just brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. And the song was Positive K, I Got a Man. You guys all know it probably. And if you don't, it's a real simple premise. It's a guy at a bar, smooth brother, he's talking to a lady, and she's like, listen man, I got a boyfriend. He's like, what's your man got to do with me? She says again, listen, I have a boyfriend. He's like, I'm not trying to hear that, see? Right? Pretty persistent. And I find that encouraging as a white guy, because last time I talked to a girl at a bar and she said she had a boyfriend, I apologize to her, the bartender, and a couple people on the train ride home. Stayed in for a couple nights. Thought that one through. All right, I'm Mike Kerrigan. Thank you very much.
Mike Kerrigan, everybody. I shall waste no time between anybody. J.R. Huffman.